Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about the recent discovery that Portland's housing authority, aka Home Forward, is in a bigger financial hole than previously reported. And as we hit another heat wave, we're also looking into the best places to enjoy a refreshing cold summer drink in our city. I'm your host, Claudia Meza. With me are Willamette Week City Hall reporter Sophie Peel and local food and drink reporter Alex Frane. How's it going, you guys?
All right.
Going great.
Sophie, welcome back.
Thank you.
You got back from Spain.
I did.
Out of the country.
Yes.
I'm curious, did you want to come back?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, that is definitely needs an answer question.
No, I did not want to come back. No. I missed my cat. I did miss my cat.
Aww.
But other than that, got to come back to work in America and work in America. We're back, baby.
Is there something wrong with the country right now?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay.
It's going quite well from what I've heard. Yeah.
Everything's going great.
Yeah. Never been better.
As you both know, we usually start things off with an opening question. And today's is all about the Portland Pickles, because this Tuesday, that's tomorrow, CityCast Portland will be down there, and I'm going to be throwing out the first pitch.
That's so fun.
What? I know. Oh, by the way, you guys are invited.
It's a lot of pressure.
If you want to come, we have seats. You're more than welcome
I
to
have
come.
a question that's probably not PC anymore to ask. Do you throw like a girl?
What does throwing like a girl
Has
mean?
it ever been PC to ask?
Sophie, I love that you just come back from Spain and your first mission is to get canceled in America. Do I throw like a... I guess I do because I'm a girl. I mean, do you want me to throw like a man?
Okay, but do you throw super hard?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I guess you have to come and look.
Maybe I'll have to go and see.
Sophie's going to be judging your lob,
I
apparently.
for sure am.
Can I just bring the listener in to know that Sophie is a college athlete. And so I need you to know that she's not just an asshole right now. She's literally just judging me.
I'm a college athlete and an asshole.
Those two never go hand in hand.
I think there's a part of Sophie that's just like, you're throwing out the first pitch? Sophie, do you want to throw out the first pitch?
I think we should make her
I mean,
at this
yeah,
point.
obviously.
It's clear you do. Anyhow.
Do you think I said that for nothing? I have an agenda.
She's trying to manipulate us.
Okay, so if you didn't know, on top of knowing that Sophie has a lot of feelings about me throwing a ball, Portland Pickles are a summer collegiate wooden bat league that puts on fun, crazy games that are sort of about baseball. I mean, there is baseball, but I think people mostly go because there's food and drinks and these fun, silly themed nights. It's family friendly. It's dog friendly. It really is just a good time all around. So like last week, the Pickles made national news for their heated rivalry themed night that featured a catcher rushing the pitcher's mound, jumping on the pitcher, and then proceeding to make out with him. That, of course, landed us on Fox's editorial crosshairs.
Yes.
This was sad, and I can't wait to... oh, my God, I can't wait to share this with you guys. The divide between sane America and the demented America that Portland wants to export across this country can't be any clearer. This isn't about two men kissing. This is about taking one of the final wholesome places left for families. The Pickles are holding a fart night this Friday night and turning it into a lib stunt factory where kids are subjected to the alphabet mafia's whims. So
all press is good press.
a win all around. That's what I'm thinking.
You know, Claudia, if the CityCast thing ever falls through, you've got a really golden opportunity to go on one of those hard right-wing talk shows. Mm-hmm. You've got a good delivery for that.
Me as a right wing, not as their token lib.
Oh, well,
okay.
yeah, I guess either way, yeah.
Okay, all of this leads me to my opening question. If you had the power to create your own Pickles theme night, what would it be? Here are some examples of real theme nights to set the mood. Mom's Gone Wild, Twilight, Emo Night, which featured a best scream contest, and a Let's Get Married night where a good amount of people just showed up and got married on the field. So, what would be your theme night?
Ooh, man.
I've got two, actually.
Go for it.
Number one, Titanic. So I'm talking early 20th century formal wear. This is definitely done in August or so, peak heat. So everyone's just, miserable out there. Or a much more appropriate one, Mad Max themed. Dystopian, post-apocalyptic rock and roll bondage. We could just blast the soundtrack for Fury Road, which is like maybe the hardest soundtrack for any action movie ever created. Yeah.
I've never considered the genre of Mad Max to be rock and roll bondage, but I think you just nailed it. I was like, that's what that is.
I think that's the aesthetic.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Sophie?
I'm going to my first Ren Fair next month in Seattle, and I've never been, but I have been researching Ren Fairs and what appropriate attire is, and I think that would be very fun to have a Ren Fair themed Pickles game, because I feel like people really they take that shit seriously.
They take that ish serious.
Like the pointy ears and the evil fairies and the good fairies, and
it's called the Unseelie and the Seelie.
The Unseelie and the Seelie. Yes, I'll learn that
Alex
in my
knows. Oh
further
my gosh.
research.
That is the evil and the less evil fairies, or the Unseelie and the Seelie courts.
Really? Wow, you know a lot. That's cool. Okay, and then my other one, which is kind of like tangential, but I've been watching House of Dragons, so I think a Game of Thrones themed one would be fun.
You're just going full on the fantasy, which I really respect.
Yeah.
I almost said Sword and Sorcery. That was going to be my follow-up one.
I think Sophie just wants to wear a corset, is what I think. And that's totally
No, I actually
fine.
really don't. So
Game of Thrones isn't really too corsety.
yeah.
All
No,
right, we're
I've never
moving
worn
on.
that, and I'm scared. Okay. Also, I won't share it, but I do have a heated rivalry story, but I won't share it.
What's the heated rivalry story?
No, I'm already talking too much. I've already talked
Alex
too much.
is. I want to hear what you got to say.
What?
Yeah, Alex has been a little chatty today.
Whoa.
I know. We have time.
So, 3 months ago in Moab, my sister lives in Salt Lake, and the girl who got married in Spain, my sister and I were both bridesmaids, and we all went to Salt Lake to meet my sister, and we went to Moab, and we watched the entirety of Heated Rivalry.
Okay.
And we obviously became obsessed with the song All the Things She Said, which hopefully everyone knows. And that, iconic scene where both the players have girls dancing on them in the club, but they're staring lovingly, longingly at each other from across the dance floor. So the bride put All the Things She Said on the playlist, and we had all decided that we were all going to grab our boyfriend / now she has a husband, but whatever at the time. Yeah, I guess it was her husband because it was the after party. Anyways, whatever. So we all decided to have our boyfriends, and then we were going to stand on opposite sides of the dance floor and stare longingly at each other. And we did it, and no one knew what was happening except for us, and it didn't matter. And our boyfriends were super confused, but they really bought into it, and they did a really good job. But it was great. It was fun.
Wouldn't it be more accurate if the boyfriends were staring at each other, though?
But they don't get it. They just
Alex.
don't. They don't.
Okay.
They don't get it.
God, Alex.
So I just like it. I like accuracy. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, yeah, and they would have had we told them to, but we wanted to be the ones reenacting it. They were just our props.
Can't the girls have fun, Alex? Jesus. All right. Thank you both for your answers. When we come back, Sophie is back at it again, and she has another Home Forward update for us. All right, Sophie, you looked into how Home Forward grossly miscalculated its budget deficit. How did this come to be?
Okay, so Home Forward has a budget about $300 million, and late last year, the agency said in this upcoming fiscal year, 2026, we are looking at a $31 million budget deficit. They said that was primarily because congressional funding had stayed flat, or they were getting reimbursed less than they thought they would for distributing housing vouchers and rent assistance. So that was the number we had for a while. And then earlier this spring, we had reported that Home Forward said, actually, the forecast is better than we thought. Congressional funding came through at a higher rate. Our budget deficit is down to $13.8 million.
Okay.
So then, obviously, everything happened with the former CEO resigning, and then earlier this month, their CFO left, kind of under unclear circumstances. So they're, two of their 4 top people left. And then last week, interim executive director Michael Bonacore, who previously, before he joined Home Forward, was actually the interim director at the Portland Housing Bureau. Prior to that, he was actually the Home Forward executive director.
Oh, yeah.
But
we've had him on the show.
Michael Bonacore's been, oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Yeah, he's just the housing guy. So he sent an email to staff last week saying, so we actually messed up with the $13.8 million. Our budget deficit is actually $31 million. And they said...
That's a little bit different.
It's quite different. And they basically said they just had a big miscalculation, that former leadership, and, I think it's pretty natural for the current leadership to blame former leadership. And that very well might be the case. It probably was the former leadership because they were there at the time. He
That's
said
what I'm
they
saying,
had miscalculated the costs of providing housing vouchers. So basically they thought it was going to cost $14 million less than it actually does to distribute their over 12,000 vouchers. So first we were at 30 million, then we went down to 14 million. Now we're back to 31 million. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, the larger context is that obviously Home Forward has been the subject of a lot of media coverage in the past 6 months.
Because of you.
I don't know. But it's had a lot of issues. Its tenants are really unhappy with the conditions of the housing, and there's financial issues. And yeah, it's just been completely roiled in the past 6 months. It has new leadership. And now that leadership, I think they're sort of branding it as we're doing a bit of a cleanup. We're doing kind of an audit of the organization and how it's functioning. And so this is kind of their latest discovery, I would say, is that actually the budget forecast is worse than they previously thought.
Right. I just want to point out a timeline that I saw. So Candy Sage, that's Home Forward's chief financial officer, left on July 2nd. And then 5 days later is when Michael Bonacore sent out this email agency-wide to be like, by the way, this thing, like we might have to make cuts. I know this is going to be scary. I know nobody wants to hear this, but here's what's going on. So there is, I feel like, a large part of me that's like, I do think perhaps this is why this person resigned, quote unquote, but I think she was fired pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know, and I don't want to speak out of turn. And Home Forward has been very tight-lipped about oftentimes when an executive director basically says to someone like, hey, step down or I'm going to give you the boot, agencies are very tight-lipped about that. And they sort of frame it as like an amicable departure. So I actually don't know, but I do think the timing is, maybe it's a coincidence, but
suspect. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I know, Sophie, you can't, but I can. And so I
have
will.
no opinions on anything.
And I did.
I'm not allowed to
and
have
I
opinions.
Did.
Yeah.
But to me, this feels like Michael Bonacore is bringing, as you mentioned it, a lot more transparency to the agency and actually cleaning up possibly years of mismanagement from the previous CEO, who called herself the CEO and CFO. What I am curious, though, is what do the board of directors do? Because they're there, too. I mean, they were there the whole time.
They are there. Yeah.
They're there, right?
Yeah. I mean, that has been, it was actually interesting. There was a city council committee meeting it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, and one of the agenda items was basically about Home Forward. So Michael Bonacore talked to the council for like an hour and a half about the agency's financials. Interestingly enough, Bonacore did not bring up the whole 13.8 versus 31 million until a counselor explicitly asked about it. But I mean, it's really interesting. Like the kind of debate on council right now is, I think some of the counselors are saying that Home Forward's issues are all just systemic issues that all housing providers are experiencing, and that blame shouldn't be laid at the feet of Home Forward specifically. And then other counselors are being like, okay, yes, there's systemic issues, but there are also things well within the agency's control that they can handle. And I think Home Forward has very much been in the kind of role of saying, this is primarily systemic. We're doing our best. There's nothing really we can do. And so it's been a very interesting kind of debate around that. Sorry, what was your question? I didn't answer it.
I was just asking that much. What the role of the board is, because they've been there basically since the beginning of this. I do want to pause, though. You were saying, Michael Bonacore, because when he was on the show, he also did point to a lot of systemic issues. But I feel like as an organization, keeping track of how much you don't have is just the bare minimum.
Right. Pretty basic accounting practices.
I don't think that's systemic. I think that's accounting.
No, that's not a systemic issue. No.
And so at a certain
Bad
point,
finance,
accountability, with just like, because sure, you can't solve homelessness, but can you run an effective and an efficient agency? I think you can. I think that's within your grasp, and it's not happening. Yeah. And that's an accountability issue. I mean, Sophie, you know this. I'm just, sounding off because I'm getting annoyed hearing about.
Yeah. Okay, back to your question about the board, though.
Yeah.
Around the time that former CEO Ivory Matthews resigned, there was a lot of chatter about the board and whether the board should resign as well, because I think a lot of onlookers felt that they were basically asleep at the wheel. They weren't really aware of what was going on at the organization. Tenants didn't feel like they ever took their complaints seriously, even when they testified to the board. And so the board was really getting a lot of heat. The board members all basically said, we've done the best that we can, we'll do better, but also like there's no one better qualified than us to do this job. So, I don't really know how much the board has changed. I think they have asked for more regular updates on finances and vacancy and occupancy, which again seems like a very low bar to meet. Feels like they should have already been doing that, but they have asked for that. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually been implemented yet, but I think there was still a lot of frustration on the part of city council about these current board members. I don't think anything's really going to happen. I mean, I think, there was sort of a critical mass that was reached with the board and like pressure on the board to resign, and they didn't. And so I think that has totally just passed. Like, I think it's really quieted down now to very much a simmer. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I think the members of the city council are like, what the hell happened here? And do we need to be better about our process about selecting these board members? And because it's even murky, actually, how board members are selected. Like Mayor Wilson said, we don't really have that much to do with it. Because Home Forward can oftentimes say who they want from those local governments, and then the local government, it's sort of like a rubber stamp thing. But no one really wants to take responsibility for actually appointing these board members. So, yeah.
Wow, I wonder why we're here. Like, the fact that everyone's like, I don't want to be responsible. Hey, why is no one responsible?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Cool. Great. Well, I have a feeling, Sophie, that your series of stories on Home Forward are nowhere close to being done.
I actually wanted to be done, and then I got this email, so.
Sorry, Sophie. Oh, man.
Yeah, it sounds like Home Forward is going to have to host the biggest fundraiser car wash that the state has ever seen.
I would cover that.
Would you? Would you bring your car?
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't buy their
Is that a conflict of
services.
interest?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I would just be a objective observer.
Sounds cheap.
Fair point.
Yeah, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, Alex has got some picks for where to best cool down with a cold, refreshing drink as our weather heats up once again. Before I hand it over to Alex, just a reminder that we still want you to take our annual listener survey. It's only about 7 minutes long, and it would really, really, really help us out. The link is in the show notes, but you can also head over to citycast.fm/survey. When you do so, you're going to be entered to win a $250 Visa gift card, as well as some pretty cool merch, if I do say so myself. Again, link in the show notes, or head over to citycast.fm/survey. Thank you so much. All right, Alex, you brought us a list of spots that you think are some of the best places for a summer drink in our area. Lay it on us. And Sophie will judge you, by the way,
Yeah,
as she
sure.
judged me with my potential opening pitch.
Without even having seen you
Never.
pitch. Yeah.
Not even knowing anything
I
about
bet you
me.
have a good arm on you.
Shut up.
And I wanted to pick a few places that maybe...
Still mad.
I'll wait. It's fine. I get it.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to pick a few spots that maybe I haven't talked about as much on the podcast, because like I've covered patios for you in the past, and I know you've talked a lot about like slushies and things like that. So I wanted to pick a few spots that might be familiar, but also might not be. I wanted to start with maybe the most obvious one, which is one of my favorite bars in the city. It actually just turned 15, I believe, yesterday, and that is Rum Club, which has been chucking out some of the best rum-based cocktails. Are you not a Rum Club gal? Or?
Oh, no. I'm just like a classic. That's, I think, that's a CityCast Portland favorite for sure. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Rum Club that I've always loved about it is that it really feels more like a neighborhood bar, or like even approaching a dive bar late in the evening, with the way it kind of like has its clientele and this sort of fun party atmosphere and everything. But it actually has like a really serious dialed in cocktail menu. And obviously, with the name of the bar, the focus is on, rum. I think half the menu is devoted to rum drinks, and it goes way beyond the daiquiri. So they do like a lot of darker stirred drinks, which I know people don't tend to like reach for when it is 90 degrees out. But even when it's 90, I like a stirred, darker rum drink. I just think it goes nice. They've got a little patio, got an AC inside, just a nice summer bar.
But they have really good food.
They have really good food. I think people miss that. Thanks for bringing that up. So I think that gets overlooked sometimes. But and their food menu is based on the cuisine from rum producing areas.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Because right now, I just want to highlight that you can get a good cocktail or a good drink almost anywhere. We're talking
really
about
true.
like vibes. Like it's really hot. Where are you going to go cool down with some friends? I'm pretty sure they also have NA options. I know they have like ginger beer and stuff like if you just want a ginger beer or whatever and get
like,
some food.
The bartenders there can always whip something up for you. Speaking of good food, Farag's is back. That's one of the best summer pop-ups the city has. So it's in its 3rd year. Have you ever been
No,
to Farag's? Are you familiar with it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Never been.
So it's a pop-up at Guero, which is a really fantastic torta shop over on 28th in what we call Restaurant Row. Guero. So obviously like a Mexican food restaurant, but in the summertime, their patio, which is a pretty big patio, and they had this really beautiful setup with these covers, these kind of like sheet covers over it and everything. It's this really oasis in back, but they switched to an Egyptian food menu back there.
Ooh.
And they just really awesome like mezza dishes and shareable plates. And one of their most iconic dishes that you'll see on Instagram all the time during the summertime is this cantaloupe with like the shaved cheese and Aleppo on it. Really fantastic. And then they pair Egyptian food with mezcal and sake, which is like kind of the weirdest trio, right? Yeah. Well, so obviously the mezcal has a strong presence at Guero all year round. The bartender is super dedicated to going down to Mexico and working with developers down there, producers down there. So they get some really rare bottles that are really hard to find anywhere else in the state. That surprisingly goes well with some of these Egyptian flavors. And then that's paired, again, right, with sake. Like you can do like a mezcal and sake pairing there, which I think is the only place I've ever been to in my life that does a mezcal and sake pairing. And again, it's just this really beautiful oasis in back of Guero. I look forward to it every single summer. And it only sticks around until I think September or so. And then it goes away again until next year.
Sold. I want to go.
Yeah, Farag's.
Yeah.
And that's named for the owner's grandmother, who was Egyptian.
Oh, that's cool.
That's Farag, you guys. If you're like, you keep hearing him say Farag and you're like, I cannot.
It sounds like frogs, but it's not frogs.
Yeah.
Farag's.
Farag's.
And then a place that's also been around for a while and I feel like was kind of buzzy for a while and then maybe has been less buzzy in recent years is Tope. And that's that like taco and margarita bar on top of, I think it's still the Hoxton Hotel.
Sophie, you've been there, right?
I have.
Because like it's your hood. I mean, you know what I mean?
no,
your
not
working
really.
hood? Not your working hood?
No, not either.
Never
but
mind.
I have been. And
I'm
I
like,
liked
you live
it.
on the west side. The whole west side's your hood.
That's kind of how I feel too, as a lifetime East Sider.
I know. Seriously, once you cross that bridge, I'm like, this is where Sophie lives.
I didn't sleep west of the river my entire life until I was in my late 30s. Like the first night I ever spent a night on the west side of the river.
How was it?
It was fine.
It
It was like a hotel. It was like a PR stay in a hotel, which I think has since closed. It was a mediocre hotel. But there was no shower door. Like it just like the water just like sprayed all over the bathroom. And especially like this boutique hotel.
That's silly.
It was very silly.
Anyhow.
Where was I? Tope, though. It was a nice hotel. Rooftop bar. I mean, I love a rooftop in summertime, especially as long as, you know, it's not too blisteringly hot. But even still, like if it is, inside is really nice, air conditioned. And what's better in summertime than a bunch of margaritas, right?
Do they have a mister?
I don't think they have a mister.
Anyone listening who owns a bar, get into it. Misters are awesome.
Misters are great.
They're super cool.
Misters are amazing.
Now, one of my favorite things to drink in summer is wine, especially rosé, right? Like rosé all day. That's still a thing we say in 2026. I'm pretty sure.
Put it on your shirt. I hope you have a graphic tee that says rosé all day.
I desperately need one. It would say brosé all day, though. We got to bring back the brosé movement from like 2014 or whatever that was.
God.
Do you guys remember brosé when it was like dudes in like jumpsuits drinking rosé with their bros?
I don't remember
Millennials
that.
are embarrassing, and I'm ready to move on.
Deeply. Landmass Winery over in Northeast Portland. So it's a Columbia Gorge winery primarily, although they source from all over Oregon. It is queer owned and woman owned, and I really love their wines. You'll see Landmass wines at restaurants and bars all across Portland. They've gotten really good distribution throughout the city. But if you want to go to their tasting room, they have one of the best patios in Northeast Portland. They have this huge sprawling patio that shares a space with a couple of restaurants. So you can like order food from them, get some wine from Landmass. And they always just make really, really super like potable summer wines, like chilled reds and rosés and really neat whites and bubbles and things like that. And then they do have some non-alcoholic offerings.
Where is this patio?
So that's in the Beaumont region. That's over on Fremont, like 47th and Fremont.
Is it just called the Landmass patio or?
Yeah, it's called Landmass Wines.
Oh, so the tasting room is in town, but the actual winery is like
That's
by
exactly
the
right.
Columbia. Gotcha.
Yes,
Look at me catching on. All right, here we go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure their winery is in Cascade Locks.
Oh, I love that area. Yeah, that's cool.
And I don't know if that's actually if they have a tasting space there or not, but they're like such a cool couple and just make really, really great wines. And then if you're over there and you want to grab a cocktail or a non-alcoholic drink and some more food, one of my other favorite bars, Wonderly, which is a bar I don't think I've talked about very often on here, but I think it's really a fantastic bar. It was the second bar owned by the couple behind Alto Lounge, which they actually just sold that. So now it's their only bar. And it's, first of all, inside is beautiful. There's all this marble and huge windows so you can like hang out in like an air-conditioned space while still getting sun, or you can sit on the front patio. It's just a lovely little bar, and I wanted to bring it up when I was talking about Landmass. I went and did the double hit the other week, and it was fantastic. So,
And cold marble, that just always feels good. You know, like
Right,
if it's
absolutely.
AC cold, you just put your little hands on it. You're like,
yeah, chill right out.
Do they have oysters?
They do have oysters. Absolutely, they have oysters.
I'm just saying, if you have cold marble, you need oysters, and like that is false advertisement. If I
think
go
that's
into a
why
place,
you build a marble
right?
bar is to as backdrop for the oysters.
That's you gotta have oysters. All right,
Completely
sorry.
agree. And then one last spot I want to hit while I have time. I don't talk about beer very often, but if you're drinking a summer beer, you want something super light. You usually want like a lager or some sort of patio pounder, and preferably a big patio to drink it on. And there's really no better brewery in Portland for that than Wayfinder, which is over on, it's either on Water or it's on 2nd or 3rd. It's like right near the Burnside Bridge on the east side.
The industrial
huge wooden
southeast side.
patio, industrial
Yeah.
southeast,
Yeah.
huge wooden patio, and a lot of Germanic style beers. So a lot of the kind of lighter, brighter summer sessions, really sessionable beers and things like that.
Those are my fave. And if you don't know, session just means like it's like lower ABV.
Yeah,
right?
lower
like,
ABV.
like 4
you
or
can drink
5%.
more of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
or even lower sometimes. Like you can get like even like 2 and 3, but that's not super common.
Those are my absolute favorite beers.
Yeah, because you can just like drink them and not feel hammered after 3.
Sophie, have you been to Wayfinder? It's
I have not.
near your hood. It's just right across the bridge.
Just on the other side of the river.
You could you could probably look at it from your house.
Right.
Okay, what's your last pick?
Last pit is over in Montevilla. Speaking of non-alcoholic bars, Blank Slate, I feel like, is one of those cocktail bars that gets kind of slept on unless you're in the neighborhood and in the know. It's been around for a while now. I think a decade. And it kind of has the same vibes as like Rum Club a little bit, and that the drinks lean more towards I don't like using the term tropical, but it's kind of hard to find a more appropriate term for that. You'll have your Mai Tais and your daiquiris and things like that. They have a nice patio set up, and they have a nice menu that's selected in between like classic cocktails, original cocktails, low ABV, and 0 ABV. So if you're just looking for like a really light spritz, but you don't want to completely avoid alcohol, you can find that. And everyone loves those spritz in the summertime. And then they have a really generous offer of like really well-made non-alcoholic cocktails on top of that. I think they're one of the better non-alcoholic cocktail menus in Portland.
Nice. Blank Slate.
Blank Slate, that's over on Gleason, I want to say. I'm pretty sure, yeah, like 70th and Gleason.
Okay.
It's not on the main Montevilla Stark strip.
That's probably
it's
why
the
it
next.
gets slept on. Yeah, because I was like, wait, is it on
Yeah, 'cause
Stark?
people just stick to Stark.
Yeah, okay. No, I've never been. Now I want to check it out.
If there's no umbrella in my drink, it's not froofy enough. So I hope there's umbrellas there.
I think their Mai Tais have umbrellas.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think they do.
Sophie's in. We're going to quote you on that, and then we're going to hold
Do
you
it.
accountable.
Cancel me.
That'll make 2 of us.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. This is a good list, solid list. Check out our show notes. We'll for sure have some of these in there, along with Sophie's article. And heck, you know what? I'm also throw in our interview with Michael Bonacore if you're curious what the now head of Home Forward has to say about what's been going on there. Hopefully he'll come back, and maybe Sophie with you. That'd be great. We could have like a 3 of
love
us. Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be.
It would be a blast.
I think so.
I think so.
Nothing's more fun than talking about millions of dollars in deficits, right? That's always a real punchy subject.
Especially when it's about affordable housing. Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And accountability.
Of course. Anyhow,
Sexy.
Thank you both. Appreciate you. And if you're not doing anything tomorrow, come check out the Pickles. We're going to be there. Sophie might be there heckling my pitch. It'll be awesome. So yeah, I think they got a slushie going on that I'm going to try. It's going to be fun.
Wait, what's the theme tomorrow again?
It's going to be Napoleon Dynamite, which is Julia's favorite movie of all time, by the way.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cute?
Fantastic.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend, rate it, leave us an amazing review. Seriously, leave us a good review. We love those. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. You get like ad-free listening, invites to member-only events, that kind of stuff. Head over to membership.citycast.fm for all of the details. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's, or the Pickles, or Blank Slate, or Sophie's apartment, which is approximately the entire west side.
Join me. Welcome to my humble abode.